It's been a whole year since this lycra-clad vision of manliness was the leader of our fine country. This morning he turned up on national TV to give this review of his successor.
Has he been a good Prime Minister?
I think a lot of good things have happened over the last year, Carl.
In fact, Abbott was hard-pressed to come up with any wins for the Turnbull government other than...
It was always going to be tough to win the election. We did win the election. That's a credit to the Prime Minister. This is going to be a term of delivery.
One thing that much of Australia hoped our new moderate leader would deliver, marriage equality, is proving possibly the biggest headache for the government, especially within his own party. The talk of the town today is the monies.
The question of funding will be something that will be dealt with by the party room in coming weeks.
We don't need to publicly fund a campaign to tell people that they're not normal.
Has the Prime Minister given any commitment to anyone for any public funding for the marriage equality plebiscite campaign?
Yes, the question of whether the government should give dough to a yes and no campaign before the plebiscite is dividing the government. The likes of Eric Abetz, Kevin Andrews and Cory Bernardi say yes.
There should be a quantum of funding for the yes and no campaign.
Mr Andrews is even backing the church leaders of Australia over his own leader. They claim that Turnbull promised them the money to campaign earlier this year.
What the Prime Minister indicated is that there would be some funding for the yes and no campaign,
which Turnbull denies. Regardless, Abetz is pushing for a cool 10 mil each for a yes and no campaign. Why would a Conservative want the government to foot the bill? Well, he's probably concerned that no one else will, and the yes campaign will far outspend the no campaign that he supports. Any extra money will be on top of the $160 million we're already forking out.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah, it kind of is, and others within the Liberal Party agree.
Why do we need to continue to fund more divisive rhetoric on an issue that overwhelmingly the people have already made up their mind?
But the government aren't quite committing to more cash just yet, though.
I've made it clear that if there is public funding, it will be on the basis of equality.
Yes, you did hear that right. The marriage equality debate has turned into a debate over funding equality. Because the real issue of equality here is how much money the government should be spending on posters like this one. That was actually used in the Irish referendum. Look, while the government tears itself apart over what to spend and where, there are solutions on the floor of the Parliament right now. Actually, there's quite a few of them.
Achieving marriage equality should be an occasion for joy. That's why the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and I have brought this legislation forward today.
This cross-parliamentary bill will remove discrimination from our marriage law.
Yes, with the crossbench and Labor introducing their own bills for marriage equality today, it looks like the rest of the Parliament is thoroughly ignoring the government's plebiscite plans and each other. Either way, if you're one of the 60% of Aussies who support same-sex marriage, or even the 40% who don't, with Turnbull entering into his second year, you're probably hoping this is one of the issues that he can get resolved.